Wednesday, August 26, 2026, 6:50 a.m.
WSM.
Live from the radio home of the Opry, country music, Nashville stories, real conversation. She's country music's BFF. This is the Kelly Sutton Show.
Seen the skyline of New York City.
I keep turned upside down.
Oh, friends, what a sad way to wake up in the morning. I know you're listening this morning, wherever you are, with a heavy heart, just like we are, because we lost Dolly Parton yesterday. The news came down yesterday afternoon that she had passed away, and I'm in disbelief like so many others. In fact, I really didn't want to believe that news. I triple checked it just to make sure before I realized that it was true. And we are just remembering our friend. What a legend, what an impact, what an incredible human being. Top to bottom, she was absolutely one of a kind and the best. And you know how much she loved the Grand Ole Opry and how much she just loved country music and all of you. And we are going to just remember her this morning. So if you're waking up this morning, listen in. We're going to play back some clips that we have from interviews that we've done with Dolly in the past. We're going to share some memories. We're going to play some of her songs. It's all just going to be a morning of remembering Dolly Parton here on WSM Radio.
Get ready for a night of music that's impossible to put in a box. The Mavericks return to the legendary Ryman Auditorium December 4th.
Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay.
It's WSM Radio this morning as we remember our friend and wonderful Opry sister, Dolly Parton. Just sad news yesterday, really the most devastating news to hear that we had lost her at the age of 80 years old. And I think so many of us just knew she was larger than life. You know, she had so many other projects that she was working on. I was just with her a month ago when she opened up her new truck stop here in Tennessee. And she's getting ready to open the Songteller Hotel here in Nashville. They just finished the sign. It's still, getting put together. I think the opening is set for the middle of September. But there were so many things that she was working on, so many projects. It just didn't seem possible that she could actually be gone. And I know we're just thinking about all the times that we've had a chance to be near her, around her, hear her music, hear her one-liners. I mean, she had the best one-liners, Cost a lot of money to look this cheap.
Keeping you connected to country.
I'm keeping my eye on this one, y'all.
This is the Kelly Sutton Show.
Pop yourself some popcorn and watch it all unfold with me.
On 6:50 a.m. WSM. Powered in part by Hemisphere Coffee Roasters.
From a shack by a mountain stream. WSM.
Live from the radio home of the Opry, country music, Nashville stories, real conversation. She's country music's BFF. This is the Kelly Sutton Show.
Good morning, everybody. We are just sitting here thinking about Dolly Parton this morning. I think all of us yesterday got the news and just kind of were in shock. It was truly one of those, didn't expect that, and it came out of nowhere. We're hearing a little Rhonda Vincent last night from the Grand Ole Opry, so we're going to play that for you in just a second. But yeah, it was just one of those mornings and afternoons where you're going along and all of a sudden you get a text message and you're like, well, that can't be true. I'm not going to believe that. And then after digging around, we found out it was indeed true that Dolly Parton had passed yesterday. And it was just a sad moment. I mean, truly, even though she was this huge figure, huge celebrity, everybody in the world knows who she is and knows her name, she also felt like she was truly a member of the family. I mean, like, I really grieved like I had lost a family member, and it hurts because you feel like you know her so well.
Well, and it was so I can't even think of the right adjective, but we talked so much about her earlier in the show. I mean, we had Stephanie Quayle in, and the new album is The Seeker.
Yes.
We're going to feature Stephanie's live performance of that, by the way, a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah.
And then John Oates was in to talk about Rock the Hall, and we featured Dolly because he wanted to do somebody who had a great connection with both the Rock Hall and the Country Music Hall of Fame. Literally 5 minutes before we had heard the news, I had just texted our friend Ellen Liston over at Dollywood and said, hey, when are you going to be in town? We'd love to have you on just to talk about everything going on. And literally 5 minutes later, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I almost felt of her like I felt of little Jimmy Dickens, that no matter what it seemed like was going on, that she would bounce back. And then you would see these videos of her, and it's like, well, she looks really good, and you just kind of assumed that she's just going to be there.
And I was just with her. I mean, that's the other thing that I think is so strange. I was literally with her the very end of June, beginning of July, when she opened up her truck stop here. And I don't know 100% for sure, but I think that was her last public appearance, because everything else she had done since then has been on video.
Yeah, she was supposed to be there for, the opening of Night Flight and had to cancel that. And obviously that Vegas residency got postponed and then canceled. So yeah, that probably was the last truly public appearance. Wow.
It was absolutely crazy. And she looked great. She sounded great. She was, total Dolly, just like always. And we filmed a commercial. She did a whole commercial for the truck stop that day, and then came out. I came out to the crowd and introduced the owner of the truck stop, and then he brought Dolly out, and she said a few words and cracked a couple jokes and cut a ribbon, and, confetti cannons went off. And we were like, well, things are good. Yeah. And I mean, she looked exactly like she always did, had on the high heels, just happy and kind to everybody. So it was one of those moments. I'm just so glad that I had a chance to be there. And we're going to rewind some of the old videos that we found. I found so many really cool interviews with her that I'd forgotten about. So we've got some of that. We'll share that not only today, but then throughout the week, because we're going to remember her for a long, long time. But last night, you being at the Opry, I thought about it. I was at the Source Awards last night, which is honoring women in music. So that was very fitting. And we talked about Dolly. But then you were at the Opry last night, and I know it was a really special opening.
Yeah, we changed a few things around, and Rhonda Vincent opened. The curtain went up, and it was just quiet. No announcer, open. And then Rhonda just simply said, this is for Dolly, and did Coat of Many Colors to open the show. And then she came back later on and did two more Dolly songs. And we're going to feature 9 to 5 in just a second. Morgan Miles, just standing ovation for an incredible version of I Will Always Love You. Morgan's one of the few who can pull that song off. She's got that incredible octave range,
Right.
And of course, Saturday, we're going to dedicate the entire show to Dolly. Fitting that Carly Pearce's 5th anniversary night. And, Dolly was so instrumental in her career early on at Dollywood, and of course, with the invite to become an Opry member.
Yeah.
So it's full circle. Dan Rogers is going to come by and just share some Opry memories of Dolly through the years as well later on in the show. But it was just surreal. I think
the entire nation. I mean, I'm just seeing so many tributes pour in. Did you see the Empire State Building lit up pink last night?
At 9:25.
Yeah, for 9:25.
Yeah.
It's pretty
cool. One of the sweetest tributes I saw all night was a little out of the box. I wasn't expecting it, but then I forgot, obviously, that he had met her and it was such a big deal to him. But Paul McCartney just posted the sweetest tribute and showed the photo of him and Linda with Porter and Dolly. That's here in our A-Cup house. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have to tell people it's in the bathroom, but yeah,
it's in the bathroom.
That's the one. That's the one.
We've got pictures of Dolly all over the place. We got so many pictures. We got them in the bathroom. Well, we're just going to be sharing memories of her all morning long. The phone lines are open. If you want to call, if you have a Dolly memory or you want to request a song, you can do that at 615-737-9650. 615-737-9650. Here's Rhonda Vincent from last night's Grand Ole Opry doing 9 to 5.
Sing with us.
everybody. Excited to hear some 9 to 5 last night at the Grand Ole Opry as we remember Dolly Parton, who passed away yesterday at the age of 80. There's so many memories, so many stories. We're going to share those throughout the morning. And if you want to do so, you can too, because our phone lines are open. 615-737-9650. We're going to start looking at some of our stream as well. If you are watching us all around the world this morning on socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, you can tell us where you are watching from. And also tell us your favorite Dolly song. We'd love to hear that. There's more on the way. It's WSM.
Wherever you go this summer, take WSM with you with the WSM radio app.
WSM.
I love you.
Good morning, WSM. Who am I talking to this morning?
Good morning, Kelly. It's Brian from O'Fallon, Missouri.
Hi, Brian. What's going on?
Just thinking about Dolly Parton.
Me too, friend. Me too. Do you have a favorite Dolly memory or song?
I like to watch her on 9 to 5, and I got a good song I want to hear by her.
All right, let's hear it.
By her and Ronnie Millsap, Smoky Mountain Rain.
All right. Well, we love that. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much for all you and Charlie do there.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you, Brian. Have a good day. WSM, who am I talking to this morning?
This is David in Port St. Louis, Florida.
Hi, David. How's it going this morning?
Going great.
Well, tell me what you're thinking about.
Dolly and all her philanthropy and all that she does, and all she's always been there for everybody and taking care of all her people in Tennessee. And just, I've always said Jesus was the greatest person to ever walk this earth. I believe Dolly was the second greatest.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, she really did embody love and generosity just in human form.
100%.
What song would you like to hear?
Oh, anything. I love every song she's ever done. What of Many Colors is probably my favorite.
I want to do a song for you now that people ask me what's my favorite song in the whole world. I said, I think it'd probably be The Coat of Many Colors. And I've been singing this one on the Opry for about 30 years now, maybe even a little longer. And I always like to dedicate it to all the good mamas that we have in the audience. And I know there's a bunch of you. I can just tell by looking at you. So we'll do this for you, and I'll do this for my mama. I bet she's watching tonight. Anyway, it's a true story about my little ragged coat. Back through the years I go wondering, 'cause she made it just for me.
Just taking phone calls this morning. I was just talking to our friend, Daddy Frank, who called in, and he, like all of us, just at a loss for words. None of us really know what to say this morning as we're waking up, knowing that the world is just a little less bright without Dolly Parton in it.
Who's going to save us now? I mean, she's really,
I don't know. I literally had that thought because there are really so many circumstances where I'm like, how would she handle this? How would she? I've watched her be funny when things were tense. I've watched her de-escalate situations where it got a little weird. I've watched her address people and take them down a notch effectively, but do it in a kind way.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times when the famous Barbara Walters interview where Barbara is saying to her, you don't have to dress like this. You don't have to look like this. And she basically kind of took Barbara down a peg, saying, you know, I know it might be a joke to some people, but this is what I think I look good in. And this is how I feel. And this is where my people are from. You know, it's just, there was so much pride in where she was from. And you just can't replicate that. So gosh, we're going to miss her. It's hard to think she's gone.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about this last night at the podium at the Opry, but, you know, even if you've never met her, she has touched your life in many ways, and especially if you're a Tennessean, and now a few other states where this has been expanded to. But if you've got a kid in Tennessee, odds are you have signed them up. Hopefully you have signed them up for the Imagination Library.
Yeah.
It was a program she started locally in East Tennessee, and then she and Phil Bredesen partnered in 2002, 24 years ago, to make it statewide.
Yeah.
And the second Jackson was born, we signed him up, and for 60 straight months, first 5 years of his life, we got a book in the mail from Dolly addressed to him. And when he got to be like 3 or 4 and really realized, he's getting mail and said, "When's my next book coming, Daddy?" It was just the coolest thing, So just simple things like that aren't simple, but right. she's there.
The great thing was there's a whole through line, like I said, to my story and hers. But I met her when I was pregnant with Reese. And I have a pink rocking chair at my house that she autographed to my daughter. So there's a lot that happened there. But I remember telling Reese, Aunt Dolly gave you this pink rocking chair. And so when she would get those books, she'd say, Aunt Dolly sent me another book. She legitimately thought Aunt Dolly was sending only her books. Right. I didn't even tell her until she got older. I was like, you do realize like everybody got those books. But for my child, she, in her mind, thought Aunt Dolly was sending her books.
Hey, listen. Stella says you're related. It's at least cousin Dolly.
Stella and Richie.
You're there somewhere.
I have been doubly confirmed because Richie Owens told me when we were at the truck stop opening. He goes, "Oh yeah, you're a Sutton. Yeah, we're related. I'll bring the book." He has a whole book of our history. So I'm going to claim that for as long as I possibly can. But we're just remembering Dolly Parton this morning. So if you have some memories and you would like to share, the phone lines are open. It feels good to collectively remember her with everybody. So if you want to give us a call, 615-737-9650. We're going to play, what are we playing next? Are we doing Code of Many Colors?
Well, we're going to do a little time machine.
Oh, we're doing it now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to do that now. Here we go.
What, you want your little...
Yes, let's do it. Play it for me. I love it. All right, Kelly's Country Time Machine. We're going back in time. This is one of those songs that it's a no-brainer that we're going to do a Dolly song. So I'm going to give that to you just off the bat. But this was one of her hits that basically claimed somebody walked into a room and immediately garnered everyone's attention. They also talk about what they're wearing and that they might be in someone's dreams. So put all of that in your hat for a minute. Think about all the Dolly songs. If you know the Dolly song that we're talking about in our Kelly's Country Time Machine, then give us a call right now. 615-737-9650.
It was also number one 37 years ago this month. 1989.
1989. There you go. A number one hit from Dolly Parton. If you know which song we're talking about, give us a call. 615-737-9650.
We have a big weekend ahead on the Crook and Chase Countdown.
WSM, do you know the song that we were talking about in Kelly's Country Time Machine?
You know what? I think I do.
Let me hear it.
I think I do. I think it. Why did you come in here looking like that?
Come on with it. You are correct. Absolutely. Who am I talking to this morning?
Kelly, you're talking to Tribby Graves Briley from Gallatin.
Well, honey, it's good to hear your voice. Thank you for calling in.
Yours.
Well, you know what?
I was pregnant with my son Benjamin at that time in 1989.
Were you?
And that's why I remember that.
See, isn't it funny how you remember those things? That's one that just sticks out in your mind. Well, listen, you just won tickets to see the Mavericks. The Mavericks are going to be at the Ryman on December the 4th, and we are going to get you a set of tickets to go see them.
That's just terrific. I appreciate that, Kelly.
Why'd you come in here looking like that?